All right, so like I said, we're gonna do this sort of impromptu podcast again, and I think Snoov, since you're our guest, will let you go first.
Oh dang! What are we talking about?
We're gonna talk about armor kill.
See, I'm not the only one.
All right. Okay. So where do I want to start with?
Where to begin?
Right.
Like like simple though. We can start small and then elaborate as we go.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll talk about the most pressing matter that at first a lot of people were like, no, it's not that big of a deal. And granted, a lot of this was coming from the community at large, and this is people on YouTube, on Twitter. I'm not talking about anything specific. I'm talking about everyone in general. Talking about the balance on Rush, and a lot of people before they even got to play it. We're talking about a lot of big time YouTubers just watching gameplay from other PS3 players. They're like, oh, that's really not that bad. Why is everyone complaining about the AC-130? But now that everyone has it, that's all you see people talking about is how imbalanced the AC-130 makes Rush. And I do not want that interpreted to be I'm saying the AC-130 is overpowered. I'm saying it just creates an imbalance. You've given the defenders one too many vehicles. It doesn't even have to be the AC-130 you take away, but you guys I'm assuming you guys are going to agree with me that there is a substantial imbalance between defending and attacking when comparing two evenly matched skilled teams.
Oh yeah.
The AC-130 just gives them too much of an edge, or it's maybe they have too many tanks as well, or it's that they have the attack helicopter as well. Right, they have everything.
Well, I saw something somewhere
not
like
just one thing.
Yeah, well, I saw something somewhere where they were saying like 90, like some ridiculous, like 95 to 98% of the time the attacking team wins.
It is, and that's in every game of defending Rush that I've played. It was the only time we've won. It was me and EJ working our asses off.
We worked a shitload. Like we
disarmed that thing so many times, and a lot of them were just by the skin of our teeth, just because we had multiple tank destroyers, infantry, and the AC-130 coming at us all at once.
Like Wes would deal with the AC-130.
One thing. It's so many things added up on top of each other. Like as an example, on that first set of MCOMs in Bandar Desert, the attacking team gets 2 tank destroyers, the AC-130, a jet, and an AA gun mounted onto their ship. And the Amtrak. Plus, they have the infantry that are not using these.
And the defenders
while
get
the defending team gets
one tank destroyer,
one tank destroyer, one jet.
That's not all they get. Yeah,
and the jet.
It's ridiculous.
Speaking of that jet, the example, the AC-130 has mounted AA guns. Granted, they don't have the best field of vision. It can still deal with it. They have
but I don't know, but
they have a mounted AA gun on their ship, and then they'll probably have at least one guy with stingers.
Yeah. So here's what I've heard, and you guys, like, I haven't played Rush as much as you guys have, but this is what I've heard, is a lot of the bigger YouTube commentators who are talking about Armored Kill, especially Rush, in reference to the AC-130 being a very, very powerful tool for the attackers, is that it can be taken down with one person who's being persistent about shooting it down.
Right.
What do you guys think that's true, or because the Rush games that I've played in, if I'm trying to shoot down the AC-130, more often than not, all of a sudden I find a big tank shell, raining down on me, or 40mm gun. I'll take a shot. Well, there've been times that I spawned in, and I barely move, and it's like dead.
Yeah, exactly. Double kill. We're on the spot.
Here's the thing. I think it's either 4 or 5. It takes that many stingers just to disable the AC-130. And even if you've got squad explosives, that's almost every stinger you've got. You get, what, 7 total? Right. And then if you get lucky to take it out, what about 1 minute or like the
shows up
however it is for the respawn time? What about then? And odds are it's usually just one guy, maybe 2, working on.
So basically, you're saying that as a defender, you can have 1 to 2 people working on the AC-130 alone. So we're talking about consoles here. So that means you got 10 players to deal with tanks. Actually, so no, we'll take 3 away.
No,
That's
not exactly what I mean.
No, but I'm just saying.
Like,
now that you've got, I know you got the AC-130 rain death down, but now you've got what?
3 people down.
Like you got you're 3 people down already, and then those other people have got to defend the objectives, take on tanks, maybe try to shoot down
choppers.
You know, choppers. With,
right.
You know, so
jet.
it's overwhelming for the defenders.
You
which
can't
is really
even rely on the jet to take out the AC-130 because there's going to be an enemy jet in the air that they're going to also have to deal with.
Well, yeah, but I mean that should be like any good jet pilot will be able to take out the other jet quickly and then work their way towards the AC-130. The problem is though is all the people on the ground who are attacking are free because there's so much stuff to overwhelm the defending force that they can just equip their stingers and shoot down the defending jet relatively easily.
So you barely end up with 5 or 6 people just concentrating on the MCOM, and the rest of the guys just concentrate either on the AC-130 or the vehicles. So at least, like I said, 5, maybe 6 people just concentrating on the MCOMs, and maybe them are getting shot down by the AC-130 most of the time.
So
yeah, and
go ahead.
To an extent, you actually kind of have to always have one guy looking up in the sky just to see if the AC-130's up.
Right.
Because it's like, otherwise you're just going to get surprised that giant mortar cannon, whatever, is just going to rain hellfire and it's just going to kill everyone that it possibly can.
All right, so
the only thing it has trouble with is enemy vehicles because you have to get a dead-on hit, but that's a one-hit disable.
Okay, so I don't want to get hung up on rush here. So, like, if you guys have final thoughts, let's make them right now, and then we can move on to, say, Conquest and then tank superiority.
All right, on my part, I would say I'll play rush, but I would definitely enjoy it more if I played the attacking team. I would hate to be on the defending team from now on. So that's why from now on I'll probably stay away from rush until it gets a bit balanced, and that's probably it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat here.
I would say that vanilla maps, it was always the defending team was always at a disadvantage because the attacking team gets all these stuff, like all this stuff going on. They get their own vehicles, etc., etc. But then armor kill gives you so much more, so it makes it even more. It puts you even more disadvantages for the defending team, and then you have. It just feels like you have no chance of winning, and then it just puts you. It makes it more team oriented, but it makes it a lot harder for you, like just 2 or 3 guys to take on a whole team of like AC-130s and tank destroyers and choppers, and it's unfair.
It's like a daunting task, huh?
Yeah, it just makes it like Wes said. Me and him, we did an incredible job at defending. We seriously put the team on back, and it was ridiculously hard. Like tank destroyers constantly coming at us, and the AC-130, and we would spawn in, it kill us immediately. They kept getting like triple kills on us. It was incredibly hard, and it's tough, man.
And we were going pretty bad negative just because of the AC-130.
Just to play the objective, and it was ridiculous.
Like, I know KD doesn't matter a whole lot in Battlefield, but you shouldn't be dying that much and still be on top of the leaderboard.
And then have a guy like 40 and 5. That's in the AC-130.
Well, what do you think, Snoov? You got some final thoughts on this before we move on?
I don't know, man. Everyone kind of covered it. I'm just sitting here like, yep, that's what I would have said. And yep, that's what I would have said.
Good.
I think to close this out, what I've noticed, and this is typically what goes on as far as like historically in warfare, is that the defending team or any sort of defender of anything usually has a supreme advantage, and it's an uphill battle for the attacking team. So why they decided to switch it around and make it such an uphill battle for the defending team to defend their MCOMs, it's kind of confusing. It kind of, you know, maybe they're trying to balance out what happened in the initial maps where it seemed like, for whatever reason, the attacking team seemed to have a little bit of momentum. I'm not sure. But then again, I mean, in a map like that, it's all fair because in the original maps, it's up to the team to do all the work. It's not up to the vehicles. So when you take, say, Armored Kill, just as a standalone, like a standalone series or whatever, you're looking at it like, okay, the defenders are screwed every which way. And the only information that I have as far as patches are concerned, it all deals with respawn time for the AC-130, as if that's the only problem with it. So, so as far as what you guys think, as far as AC-130 being a factor in Conquest, how big of a factor do you think it is?
None really, because at least both sides have a lot of vehicles, and both sides still at least get 2 jets. So it makes it a little easier. There's enough vehicles that you can kind of counterbalance it.
Yeah, it's almost pointless in Conquest. Everybody always rushes to that one objective that it controls it, but it hardly stays up in the air. You don't get any vantage points with it. It's overpowered in Rush just because of the imbalance, but then when it comes to Conquest, it's the polar opposite. There's so many things going after it. It doesn't get the kills because everyone's not grouped together.
You know,
so you got a.
Oh, go ahead, Kuma.
It's not a factor in there, except
because you got a lot of people.
Hey, there's guys up in the gunship. I can get me some easy jet or engineer points right now.
Right. Yeah, because you got a lot of guys just spread out throughout the whole 5 objectives, and so there's mainly 3 or 4 guys are gonna go after it just for the fun of it. But honestly, I would. It's Conquest. The AC-130. It's a lot more manageable. It's honestly weak to me. Comparing both of the comparing to the modes, Conquest. It seems like the AC-130 doesn't stay up in the air as long as in Rush. Comparing it.
Yeah, Kuma kind of gave me a thought just then. If there wasn't 5 objectives, if say there was only like 3, I'd say the AC-130 would be much better in the Conquest, just because everyone wouldn't be quite so widespread. It wouldn't be 12 guys over such a massive field. It'd be more linear. They would all be kind of going in their set paths.
Yeah. That still all depends on, say, like the middle objectives. Let's say B is the one where you can get the AC-130. That's always going to be contested. So potentially the AC-130 will never be up for more than a minute in the whole game because everyone's fighting over that one objective. If, say, both teams are equally balanced.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true, too.
The thing, though, is I know for us, we're all on console here. The thing is, I think they should, if they can, which they won't because they're not, history has shown so far they're not going to patch anything until the next DLC comes out, which is going to be in, what, December?
Yep.
So we're going to be stuck with 5 objectives. And I know from the time that I've played Conquest, it's a fight for the AC-130. It's a fight to get in the air. When I first started playing, I liked the fact that as a jet pilot, you now had a specific mission. Hold and maintain air superiority. And so suddenly, this is where, for me, as a jet pilot, I started to really hate things because the helicopters have heat seekers, there's stingers on the ground, the jets are using heat seekers now, and you get one ECM that lasts for 5 seconds, and then it's got like a 10-second reset time. And you're getting shot down super quick because these guys are just firing missiles all over the place. And it gets frustrating. So it's hard for me to get, like now I'm trying to focus on being more of a ground soldier, but the times I have been on the ground, the maps are so big that, like you said, Wes, it should be brought into 3. I think 3 is an ideal number for consoles.
Or at least give us the option to where, like with Wake Island, do 5 flag, and then like day 1 would be like 5 flag, day 2 would be a 3 flag. I mean, they gave us that option with Wake Island, and I believe they gave us something similar with Gulf of Oman. Why not with that?
Well, a simple solution. I think a simple solution would be to allow, if you have a server, to allow how many objectives do you want? Do you want 1? You want 2? They should probably have like a minimum of 2, like 2 to 5. You should be able to select like how many objectives you want in that mission. That would be really cool. More control.
Would it adjust the amount of vehicles on it, or would it just be the amount of flags that you have to choose?
I think because it's it's not going to be as detailed as like a PC. This is just my dream world here on the PlayStation. I just like if that you could fix that and like switch that up so you can switch how many flags there are to cap. I think that would fix a lot of problems. It's just too many people rushing from too far away And when everyone gets wiped, if you got, you know, like 3 people at B and they all get wiped, and you're like, oh crap, now I got spawned at A, which is, you know, 200 meters away or whatever. And then we got to hike over to A. So it just becomes this like rolling
5-minute walk.
Yeah, it's like a rolling shit show from one objective to the other. So they'll go, the only one they really hold is whatever one the AC-130 is. And then that one sort of, you know, because we all agree it's kind of underpowered in Conquest. There's not much to do with it, you know. Like, okay, so it gets like the pacing of the game. At least this DLC for me is like really, really slow, and it's not what I find to be most attractive about Battlefield 3.
Yes, I agree with that. Yeah.
Speaking of the running, you kind of have to run sprint. Like someone on the squad has to run sprint in case your vehicle gets destroyed or
which it will.
You don't have one you can take, because otherwise you're not going to get to the next objective. They're going to cap it and be gone by the time that you get there.
Yeah,
sometimes I just find myself just suiciding in the middle of the freaking map just to get spawning in the actual deployment or freaking get to a vehicle faster, because you're not going to have the time to freaking walk your ass up to a objective or try to get it from the enemy. So I just suicide. Not most of the time, but a couple of times. Oh, screw this. I'm gonna freaking suicide into a
just put the pistol to your head. See you later, see you guys. See you later, guys. I'll be there in a minute.
Battlefield, you made my friend kill himself.
20 seconds later, I'm in a vehicle and fucking.
Then you're moving 136. Yeah. So let me ask you guys this. You know, a while back when we all played together, I think we had 6 or 7 guys just in Skype on one team by ourselves, and we rolled through like 4 or 5 matches just winning.
Armor kill?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. So I was thinking, now, you know what? It's not a matter of getting 4 people on a team. It's a matter of getting 6 people, 7 people. You know, a majority, if you can have a majority of players on your team that are your friends and you can communicate either through Skype like we do or through the team chat function through the game, and you can communicate that way, then I think you're going to have a good time. Because the maps are so large, you need more coordination, you need more communication. You can't just go, the 4 guys go run, take an objective, like, okay, we're going to play together, hustle together. It really takes double the amount of players from what I've seen
you gotta split
really
up
dominate.
at some point.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, I'm sorry, like I mean it in the sense not 8 guys together as on one team, but I'm saying like we were doing. You know, like Robin was in the air, I was in the air, Tan was in the air with someone gunning. We had a couple of guys on the ground in armor. Yeah. You guys were on the ground. And so,
I was in the destroyer.
Yeah, and then
we had good stuff.
Like any time that Tan was like, "Oh my God, I need someone to come clear the skies for me," Rob and I were there, and then Rob and I were calling out the AC-130s. We were calling out when jets were coming out. We were very well coordinated, and it was working, and it worked flawlessly. And it seems, I know that they're pushing for, they want good team communication and good teamwork, and that's what it seems like is required, but not on the scale of just 4 guys. It's like you need to at least have 7, 8 guys,
like a full team,
like 2 full squads communicating, working together at least. I mean, that's at least, and that depends on who you're playing against, because you might play against a whole team that's really working, you know, together as well, or maybe like a whole clan of guys. So you guys
I think they're working against the limits of the PS3. Since I'm mainly an Xbox player, we have the Xbox Live party system, and the PS3 doesn't really have that. I think they're just hoping a bit too much from the PS3 as it stands at the moment, because obviously we're using Skype when we play together, and that's, you need like a laptop or your phone next to you.
Yeah.
It's not, you can't exactly say to your friend in the game or some random person, hey look, there's an AC-130 up, because you know, you're gonna have to switch over or turn your mic off so one group can't hear you and the other group will.
Oh, and another thing, speaking of that, the voice chat on the PS3 lags.
Yeah,
like,
there's
if you make a call out, it might be too late.
Yeah. I know that's the one reason why we stopped using, you know, like when I got linked up with Chris and Snoov, they were like, "Oh, we always use Skype because it's like instant communication. There's no delay."
Yeah, Skype is where it's at. Like, if you guys can, for anyone listening to this, if you have not figured out how to do it, it's incredibly easy. If you have a really nice gaming headset, you've got optical audio that goes to the console, and then you got USB that goes to your computer, and bam, you've got game sounds through the optical audio, and then you've got your chat through the USB. It is so much better, and you're not limited. Well, actually, I'm not sure. I forget what the limit is on how many people you can have in on a call.
We've had 8.
I believe it's 12 or something.
Yeah, we've had like 7 or 8.
So
I think if you use something like
cover the whole team, yeah.
Yeah, I think even if you use something like TeamSpeak, which I know the PC community is huge about, because supposedly it's a little bit better quality, but I kind of find it a little bit wonky myself. It's set up so that it only picks up when you're talking, so it eliminates all that static in between of which when you're dead silent. But at the same time, then it picks up on like random bumps and shit when you're making noises. If you drop your phone on your desktop or something, it'll pick up on that still. And then sometimes it doesn't register your voice right away, so you miss like the first 3 words someone says if they're talking really fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's also a low-tech way too. I mean, if you've got a laptop or you got a computer you can sit next to you and plug in and do that way. What I use a lot is just my iPhone and earbuds with a microphone on it. If I don't feel like moving my computer next to my TV or something. So there are alternative routes. If you've got a smartphone with a Skype application, and some earbuds with a microphone on it, then you can communicate that way. So that's a less expensive way if you've already, assuming that people have smartphones now, Robin.
I don't have a smartphone. I've still got some old black and white thing.
Jesus Christ, man! There are color screens out there now.
Hey, I can play Snake perfectly fine on that.
the Nokia.
My old phone had Tetris.
Got the Nokia with Snake on it.
But if the PS3 got in contact with Skype and actually came out with a Skype app, I think that would push the PS3 a bit further on than the Xbox 360 in terms of usability for players. Because the Xbox 360, you have to pay a premium service to get those party features, and if the PS3 said, "Hey, we have a Skype app now. It's free. Our service is free." There you go.
Well, see, the problem though is that it seems like with everything in the PlayStation, it it only allows one application to run at a time. So you'll probably be limited to just having Skype run by itself.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what that's all about, and that's
just crushing my ideas.
I'm sorry. No, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. I love it. Actually, that would be like the best overall solution.
See, I'm British here. I'm supposed to be crushing hopes and dreams.
It's
my imperial nature.
Turnabout is fair play. This is from 1776 till now. But I like the idea. I really hope that they were going to have some sort of a party feature, and they've been talking about it for a while. Like, oh, there's going to be a party feature soon. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But switching over to the last thing, tank superiority. This is brand new. I personally love it. Out of everything that we got, this is probably my favorite. Now, I preface that by saying, I've got a couple maps that I prefer and a couple maps I think are kind of crappy because the terrain's not conducive for good tank play. But it's like Bandar Desert and I think was it Armored Shield, the Rolling Hills one?
Armored Shield is
Caspian Border version 2, basically.
Yep.
2.0.
2.0. Yeah, Caspian version 2.0.
It's like upgrading a version of Windows. It looks the same, but it's a little bit better.
But that's the thing about tank superiority. On my taste is I don't see it as a full game mode. I see it as you wanna. I don't know. It's just me, maybe because I see it as maybe I just want to play a slow game. I just hop into that. Maybe I don't understand it completely. But it's somewhat slow for me, maybe because I don't get into the tanks that often. Maybe I don't get as many points for the amount of time that I put into the game.
Oh. Why are you
I honestly don't enjoy.
You're maxed out.
I kind of see it.
I'm like,
I still pay attention to points, but yeah, I see it as I don't see it as it was just an extra mode in there. But I definitely, if I want to play something different, I'll probably hop on there, but I don't see it as a main mode like in Conquest. It's just I don't want to sound like who, but
you know who.
Is it Battlefield 3 was built upon Conquest.
Yeah. And I do see Conquest and Rush as being the main modes, and me being a heavy TDM player, but going into tank superiority for the end, I played it enough to notice that it's slow for me. It has its action moments, like explosions everywhere and shit. But it's boring for me, honestly, and that's just my opinion.
It actually, to me, it's kind of like TDM with tanks. I mean,
Yeah.
If you like, you've got one objective, but really no one bothers with it. They just keep getting in a tank and blowing everything up.
Because most people are trying to get the experience on the tanks. They're like, oh shit, this is new, so let me never try tanks, or let me get used to them. Let me try them on and see if I like them and stuff. And a lot of people don't pay attention to the objective.
There's only one objective though. Like that's what's brilliant about it.
Yeah, and people kind of they want to make their thing last so they can get as many points as possible. And the flags are almost always just out in the open.
Like, honestly, have you find yourself like, oh shit, the first thing I'm gonna do is get to that flag and defend it with all my heart? Like, no, you just go around and try to kill people with your...
I did that the first time we played Tank Superiority, and I got massacred by 4 guys in tank destroyers hiding in the hills.
The only thing I don't really like about it is that because of everyone spamming javelins, you have to run smoke.
Oh yeah.
Smoke anyway.
Because extinguisher doesn't work.
Yeah,
it ignores reactive armor. You have to run smoke if you want to survive.
See, that's one of the things that
run into a completely stupid team, but I mean that's never going to happen all the time.
Well, not right now because it's all of us try-hard premium members.
The thing is, a lot of people just don't know how to handle the or use the new game mode. You know, a lot of people just getting used to it.
Yeah, they're getting used
to it. Later on, hopefully, you'll see more team-oriented gameplay on Tank Superiority, because you have to run around with at least 1 or 2 tanks beside you, like in a squad. You know.
Well, okay,
you just
so when was the last time you guys were playing Tank Superiority?
Yesterday. Yesterday in that stream.
Maybe I just ran into a really good lobby. I ran into a couple really good lobbies of Tank Superiority, and it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of movement.
It depends, man.
I guess it does depend on who's online, like everything, I guess. But my experiences with Tank Superiority have all been positive.
It's fun. It's fun, honestly.
Yeah. It definitely is. It's something that you can go on. You can have fun. It's got its problems, like every other game mode, but overall, it's fun. It actually, you get to get in a tank and dick around and kill. That's at it. It's TDM with tanks.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one game mode that I'll play that I won't give a single fuck about my KD. I'll just go in there, get in a tank, I'll get killed, I'm like, okay, where's the next tank? Let's just go back, because that's all I want to do.
Exactly, yeah.
See, that's the mentality. You go into that game because you forget about the flag. It's just, that's what the same way I treat it.
Because the objective's always there, but at least I don't. I mean,
but that's not the main priority, right?
The main, well, I mean, the main priority is to destroy whatever's around the objective. So you'll by you killing everything around the objective, then you'll take the objective.
See, that's the way I see it. Yeah, it's just get rid of everything that's moving.
You just have to have a body somewhere within that large circle to take and hold the objective. And if you get off the large circle, then you start losing the objective. It starts to neutralize. So, Snoov, have you played much Tank Superiority?
Yeah, you know, I gotta say, the way they presented it in all these trailers, I thought it was gonna be like some, crazy game type. And I'm sorry, I forgot who said it, but whoever said it, you're absolutely right. It is just kind of like TDM with tanks. There's nothing overly special about it. That's
still much fun.
I think it's kind of lackluster. It's
really, oh man. So EJ,
I don't know, like
minority.
Sometimes it's kind of fun, but at the same time, like, you know what? This is not at all what I expected when they said that they were bringing out this new game type, and I was actually really disappointed. It's kind of fun, but I can't get past the disappointment that that's all it is. It's TDM with one flag. Like the flag is almost non-existent, really. Not many people go for it. Every game I've been in thus far has been completely one-sided.
Yeah.
So, I think the basic theme we could take away, and I'm not gonna try to talk for everybody, but just going based upon what we've all said already tonight, disappointment is probably the best word to describe this DLC for us.
Yes.
Would you all agree?
Yeah.
It's also
to me, I feel like consoles got the shaft with it. They made it so big, just vehicles everywhere. But when it comes down to it, there's not enough players on the console to really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's a fundamental
The maps are amazing for TDM.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But that's all there really is to it for the console players. Unless you get like half the lobby on a Skype call, like you were saying.
Pretty much.
I think it's also limited to the type of players.
Flag running.
And type of
and occasionally get into a gunfight with someone.
Alright, Snoov, you're about to say something?
Honestly, oh god, sorry, I'm yawning.
Making it too boring for him. Making it too boring for him.
He's that bored.
Shit.
I'm sorry, it was not related to what anyone said, I promise. I agree to a point. Like, I guess overall, I'd give the DLC for console-wise maybe like a C+ to a B- overall rating, because we all knew what we were going to get, what was going to happen being console players, that these maps were huge, and that was what they were hyping. It was going to have the biggest map in Battlefield 3 history, and that certainly doesn't play into the strengths of console players. I think they could have adjusted it specifically for console players to make it better. My only gripe with playing Conquest, there's not enough vehicles. I feel like there should have been a lot more light-duty vehicles, whether it be the ATVs or the Jeeps of any kind, so that at least you could move around from flag to flag a little bit quicker. But
see what you did there.
I hear you, Geekos. Fag to fag, ass to ass, just grinding.
Oh,
so it would be nice to that, but I mean,
right there.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better once they address some of the balance issues with Rush. Just trying to figure out where exactly the AC-130 fits in and how best it fits in. I know that they are giving it a 90-second respawn timer. I still don't think that's enough. I think the idea I came up with, and I think it's a pretty good give and take, is that specifically for Rush, because it takes, I mean, again, it comes down to, we're talking like two evenly matched teams. Forget what everyone's ranks are. We're just talking evenly matched so far as skill level. When those two teams go against each other, a game, it probably takes like 5 minutes, give or take a minute here and there, to take down a single set of MCOMs. So you throw in the AC-130, and it drastically reduces the amount of time. I would really love to see if they were to make it so the AC-130 only spawned once per set of MCOMs. You could have it come up right away, or have it come in at a certain time. But I would like it that, so for the first set of MCOMs, it's there the moment you spawn, and it's up. Okay, no big deal. Or maybe it waits like 30 seconds, gives everyone, gives your team a chance to get in position and stuff, and then it spawns in. Once it's down, it's down. It will not respawn until 30 seconds after the next set of MCOMs show up. I think that'd be a really good balance, because it's still gonna be able to rain like hell down on the MCOMs, but it's not going to be there the whole time.
That's
actually a really good idea.
It is a good idea until you start to get people shooting the son of a bitch down right off the spawn.
That's why I say you have to set a timer, because I was going to say right at the beginning of the game, fuck it, just let it go.
Yeah.
But the moment the defending team spawns in, the entire team's just going to lock it with Iglas, suicide, get back to RPGs and stuff, and then they're ready to go. Yeah. If you set it to a timer, maybe like 45-60 seconds after the game starts, maybe even 60 to 90 seconds, that should be enough time that your team can get in position, start engaging, and get them distracted. Then the AC-130 can come in.
It would be awesome maybe if it was like a compromise that was like the AC-130 didn't come in until somebody armed at least one, just armed it, not destroyed it, but arm it. The second you arm it, then the AC-130 comes in.
Or the other one would be like if you're like a certain amount of tickets, like if you're down to like 25, 40 tickets, AC-130 just spawns, just get that extra.
That's where you promote like bailing out the team.
Yeah, that seems.
Yeah, that's where you just go easy mode engage. It doesn't matter. They could just stick around for that, or those other 55 tickets, and then just try hard and just take it all.
Right.
I like that on the only the AC-130 being able to spawn once per set of MCOMs
per pair,
maybe even twice. I mean, maybe they could keep that 90-second timer and give it twice maximum. But I like the idea of just once, because the thing is really powerful, and then maybe just give it a slight buff. Instead of needing 5 Iglas to take it down, make it 6, so it can last a little bit longer. But I think that would be a good give and take. You still get it. It's going to hold up a little bit longer. You can still, with competent team players, you can really do some damage. But once it's down, and now you got to get back to ground and pound. You got to get back to playing the objective.
They're still going to have all their vehicles, like the other vehicles. They're going to have their jets and everything. It's still going to be like Rush used to be. The AC-130 was just there while it was there. It's a giant war airplane, so pretty much. You can't. It doesn't just come instantly back.
Well, yeah, that's
look
a good
at how
point,
slow it flies in the air. It shouldn't be able to go down and then another one travel at light speed to get back there.
Right.
It ain't Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond over in here.
That's true. So
I think the AC-130 should have a life limit, so there's only a certain amount of, say there's only 4 AC-130s per game, and once those AC-130s go, that's it. I don't think it should be 1 per MCON. I think it should be, you have an AC-130, okay, you can use it from the start. Once it's taken down, you only can use it 3 more times before it's gone. And I think even with a team full of randoms, it's not that hard to take down an AC-130 4 times. Yeah, you might die a lot, but once it's down, it's gone. It's gone.
Well, the only problem I see with that is that you would think that would encourage strategic gaming. You know, like, okay, we only have this 4 times, so let's pick it up at the perfect time when we're attacking the first set of MCOMs, and once it's down, we'll wait for the second set, if needed, and so on. Well, you know you're going to get those random shitheads that just go in and fucking ruin it for everyone, where they're just going to fly around in circles, let it get shot down the 4 times, and then they're like, ha, we're leaving.
But you're going to get that no matter what. You're going to get, like, arseholes and shitheads no matter what you do. Even in organized game types, you're always going to have one of your friends, maybe he's had too much to drink, or maybe he's just had a bad day and he just doesn't give a crap and just starts messing around.
That's true.
And even in an organized group, it's just going to be like that. So I think if you have a set amount of spawn limits for the AC-130, people are going to use it more wisely and not just dick about with it. Well, I think also to balance out the maps, maybe if you gave the defenders 2 jets, or instead of those rush type jets, if you know what I mean, you get the Conquest ones, the much more maneuverable and faster ones.
Yeah, that's I've heard that before. I actually was kind of going around listening to some videos today, and they talked about that a lot, where, you know, hey, how about the defending team gets 2 jets, you know, instead of just the 1. So I think really,
or maybe just some anti-aircraft, like
maybe, yeah, that too, you know,
because you could easily take down the AC-130 with one of those because it's so slow moving. You just need to get your burst time perfectly,
you just
and
gotta,
the flares won't affect
you
it.
just gotta compensate it by leading your shots just a little bit, and
well, once you
find that sweet spot, that sweet distance, you can just hold it down until it. That's a good way of putting it.
Makes me love her.
Well, you know,
you make it mad wet in here.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, Wes. You know, the problem is that no matter what we do, DICE is going to do what they want. And this is kind of going back to that roundtable discussion that we had, Snoov, is that, yeah, the community is going to scream really, really loudly about something, and so they're already apparently going to be adjusting one thing, which is the spawn time. But the thing is, though, we could talk about this all day, and nothing's going to get changed to where I think the majority of players are going to like it. So what I'm to kind of cut this off now, because we can probably go in circles about this all day long. What I want to know is, like,
all night long.
Yeah, all night long.
I just put my input in there. So
yeah.
Keep going.
Well, anyways, I want you guys in the comment section, I want you to go ahead and just, you know, tell us what you think about Armored Kill thus far, for those of you who have it, and then for those of you guys maybe who don't have it, who aren't premium members, what do you guys think about what you've heard so far? Has it changed your outlook on your expectations or your excitement level? You know, so has it changed whether or not you're going to buy it or not? So I'm kind of curious to hear from the people who already have it, and then from those people who don't have it already, just to see if maybe there's been some changes in the expectations, because this has been pretty much one of the bigger hyped DLCs for Battlefield 3 thus far. So, anyways,
can I also add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
And maybe make the comment a little bit more intelligent and thoughtful.
Wait.
Just
go ahead, Colin.
Quiet boy. Pull me back to the stone.
Sorry.
I think also the DLC really limits your character class, because the assault's pointless for most part since it's so vehicle based, and the recon class is pointless as well. It's kind of a toss up between the engineer and the support class. But even then, the support class, you need to get right up close to these tanks, and for the most part, any sort of reasonably skilled player is not going to allow you to do that. So it really just leaves you one viable class to use. I think that really puts a down on the whole game.
Engineer,
yeah. Again, I mean, I think that works in the teamwork that they probably want people to go for. But you're right, though. I mean, you know, what's the viable class? The most viable class is the engineer class. You got anti-tank rockets.
I mean, the engineer class is
blowtorch.
quite powerful in the normal game anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then
because their
anti-air.
carbines can do just as much damage as the assault classes, assault rifles.
Yeah,
and you also have all this other stuff.
So, anyways, guys, maybe we'll pick up a part 2 later if there's some interest in it. But for right now, we'll just go ahead and sign off. And I'm looking forward to reading the comment section to see what everyone has to say. So, anyways, guys, take it easy.